Hello, my name is Alan Stead. I'm going to show you how to use Stencyl and go through their crash course. So first we'll open up a web browser. We'll go to Stencyl.com and we'll go ahead and download it. And I'm on Windows, so I'll download it for Windows. Open it once it's done. Okay, computer prompted me for authorization to run it. So I'll just go ahead and install it in the default location. Okay, that's done. And we'll go ahead and run Stencyl and finish. Okay, so as saying I don't have write permissions for the current workspace, I'll go ahead and ignore that for now. And then also wants me to agree to the license. Let me create an account. I'll just say remind me later. Sorry, that was off screen. Let me move this stuff so you can see it. Okay, now what I'm going to want to do, let me go back to their website here for a second. I'm going to go to help, and I want to go to this crash course. That's the thing that I'm going to go through. So let me click begin, and this is basically what I'm going through. So if you want, you can go through, follow along, or um, just do it on your own. It's pretty straightforward. So first thing I got to do is download Stencyl, which I've done. Then I got to download the crash course kit, and this has all of the kind of stock information for the game, if you will. Now switch back over to Stencyl, and I've downloaded the crash course kit, but I got to install it. So I go to File, Import Game, and it's right here, Crash Course Kit. Okay, now I've got the kit. Now let's see, we've got to go and click Game and click here to create a new game. And we're going to use the crash course kit, so we'll hit next, and we got to give it a name. Now in their tutorial, I'll just follow it along. They just call it crash course game, and you set the screen size here. So this depends what kind of platform you're targeting, a phone, a tablet, that kind of thing. I'll just leave the default. Okay, so now you'll see there's actors, backgrounds, fonts, scenes, sounds, tile set, and then there's logic. There's actor behavior, scene behavior, and then the code itself. So we'll just go through some of these different things as part of this. First, they want us to jump into the two actor types. So there's the clown, which is the bad guy, and then Noni, which is the good or the player character. Now, if you jump into the character, you'll see there's a bunch of different animations. If you look at one of them, you can see for the different frames how many microseconds there or milliseconds that they're displaying these different frames. They also have, this is all part of the appearance tab, then there's behaviors, events, collision, physics, and properties for each one of these. Now what they want us to do is also go back to the dashboard, go into the clown guy, and they want us to set him as an enemy. So to do this, we've got to go into settings and groups, and right now we've got players. These are the different groups: actors, doodads, players, regions, tiles. So let's create a new group, and let's call it enemy. Is that how they have it? Yeah, so create it. And an enemy, we want him to collide with players, tiles, and sure, enemies themselves. Okay, now we want this clown to be a part of the enemies group. So let's go over to the properties and make sure he is part of enemies. Okay, back to the dashboard. Now let's see, what else do they want us to do here? Okay, we just did that. Creating the enemies. Oh, they actually call it enemies instead of enemy. Let's go ahead and fix that. Let's see if we can do this. And okay. Let's see if the change took effect over here. Let's see the properties. Yeah, so it's enemies. Good. Now we're all squared away. We're the same as their tutorial. Now under Noni, I guess I'm pronouncing that, well, maybe, hopefully right. We come in and under properties, that's part of players. Let's look under physics. They say, okay, can it rotate? And they want us to go ahead and check no here. You see there's a bunch of other things too. Is it affected by gravity? What kind of actor type is it? If it can move or not. But this is the main thing they want us to switch for this particular tutorial. Okay, I think we're done with that part now. Oh, no, they want us to go back in, and then for the behaviors, they want us to add all the different behaviors. So let's go ahead and add one. So let's add walking, and let's do that one first. So move right key, say is the right arrow, move left key is the left arrow, and then they have an idle right animation, idle left, walk right, walk left. So let's choose the animation for the idle right. That's that one. Choose the animation for the idle left. Choose the animation for the walk right. And choose the animation for the walk left. Okay, I think we've got all of the animations now. But this one, okay, how do we, okay, add another behavior. We've done walking. Let's go ahead and do jumping. So the jump key, they want us to go ahead and do action 1. The jump force, we'll leave it at 40. These are things you can experiment with later. Okay, and they have sounds for this too, so we'll give it the jump sound and the jump right animation. Thankfully they've already created it for us. Then jump left. Okay, I think that's it for that one. Let's go ahead and add another one. Stomp on enemies. So we'll go ahead and jump to here. The stompable group, need to switch this to enemies, and the jump key is action 1. Okay, finally, the last behavior is die in pit and reload. And there's nothing we need to configure here. So now we'll switch over to the clown, and let's look at the Well, we already did the properties, setting it to the enemies. Let's go at the behaviors, and let's add a behavior here. And looks like stompable is the one. So choose the animation. We'll make it stomped. That's the only other one. There is a stomp sound for this, and I believe that's it. So we'll go on to the next part. So now we jump back to the dashboard, and let's go ahead and create a scene. So we click here to create a scene, and you could think of a scene as a level, things like that. Give it a name. In the tutorial, they just called it main scene, and you have the size and the tile width to kind of configure how big you want it to be. Also, you can have a background color. In this one, we're going to switch to a vertical gradient, and the top part will be a darker blue, and then a lighter blue on the other side. So let's go ahead and create it. So you see the darker blues at the top, the light blues at the bottom. Now when we jumped into here, you could see over here on the right we have our tiles that we can drop in. These are filling in little squares here. So I can go ahead and draw, and then I can do things like this. I can also grab a bunch at a time and fill it in this way. Let me switch that one. There we go. I can grab 3 at a time. And let me experiment with some of these other colors as well. Fix that one. And finally, I'll go ahead and end it. Now we can also place actors. So let's go ahead and place the main actor there. And then let's put a couple of clowns in here. Okay. Now we have to add gravity. So we'll go to the physics page, and let's make vertical gravity. They say to put that to 85. So we've gone ahead, we've added gravity to this scene, and I believe now we are ready to test it. Let's click through some of these others. No behaviors for the scene, no events. The events is where you see a lot of the code, so this is what you'll kind of get into later on. The physics we already looked at. I haven't even gone into there yet. And then the properties is the thing we entered right at the beginning. So let's go ahead and test our game. So it's going through compiling all the code right now, putting it all together, and it'll display it for us. Okay, we move this in here. So if I move around with the left and right arrows, you see the character moving. You see when I move right, it's facing to the right, and then when there's walking, there's a little bit of animation. When I'm left, it's changing the picture to face left. Now Z is the key to jump, and you hear the jump sound as well. And now let me try and jump over and stomp on one of these guys. And there we go. So we've successfully tested our game and used all their Stencyl stuff. So you can see you can probably start with something like this and then go modifying, or start from scratch, building your own game. And that's the end of the very first crash course. Thank you.